Thank you very much, Marianne, and good morning, everyone. I'm Helen Phillips. It's been my great privilege for almost 7 years now to be the chair of the Legal Services Board, and the Legal Services Board is the oversight regulator for legal services in England and Wales. And I would add my welcome to those of you in the room and to those of you online. And I'm conscious that you're all very busy people, and we do feel suitably privileged that you've taken time out to be with us today. And of course, we hope that the quid pro quo will be that you will have a great opportunity to influence our use of regulatory levers in advancing some of this agenda. I'm also hugely grateful to our eminent array of speakers, and of course this being the first conference that the LSB has had of this sort, I have rather abused the privilege of chair, and I have made sure we have invited all the people I most like to listen to speak today. So I know I'm in for a treat, but I feel pretty sure that you're in for a treat too. So the central proposition of today's conference is that a diverse public deserves a strong, ethical and diverse legal profession. As we've been pulling together the agenda for today, we've been surprised and delighted by the clear sense of shared sense that these are the right questions. The big questions of ethics, the rule of law, diversity and inclusion are the right ones for us to be asking. But it is, of course, easy to read criticism into such questions, and there's always a risk, of course, that such criticism can lead to the generation of more heat than light. And that's definitely not our mission here today. Rather, we're seeking to build a consensus about the best ways to build on the strengths of the legal profession in England and Wales, and to encourage candour about areas for development with a view to making progress on behalf of the public. So I'm going to start with what I hope is a very positive statement about the legal profession, and one we can use as a platform for today's discussions. And it's this: being a lawyer is more than just a job. Legal professionals belong to a group in which the public is invited to place its trust. Lawyers hold in their hands the bricks and mortar of our safe and peaceful coexistence. They're entrusted by society with this solemn responsibility. And that means that however grand or mundane the task in hand, there is a meaning or a purpose that transcends the letters on the page. This should be a source of great pride and joy for all legal professionals to know that as a lawyer you play this fundamental role on which society depends so profoundly. But none of this happens by accident. It requires constant recognition and striving to build and uphold that public trust. And frankly, regulation is something of a bit part player in this. While rules and regulations are important, no one has been ever inspired to great works by reading a compliance handbook. That's why it's mine and the LSB's firm view that most of the heavy lifting in the areas we're discussing today will need to be done by the sector's leaders, many of whom are in the room, working constructively and seamlessly with regulators to inspire high standards of ethics and a diverse profession that inspires public trust. And it's now more important than ever, I'd argue, more important than it's ever been. Some would say that the profession has been under attack at home and abroad in ways that we've not seen for many years. While much of this is alarming and unjustified, there's been enough of a germ of truth to make those attacks credible. Perceptions of so-called Londongrad, to pick one example of many, may be exaggerated, but they're not wholly without foundation. The Post Office miscarriages of justice have quite rightly shaken public confidence. The debate around slaps definitely adds fuel to the fire. And the time has come for the whole profession to come to terms with the fact that it is much easier to build a successful career in the law if you're white, male, able-bodied, and from an affluent social background than if you're not. It's only by accepting that premise without blame or criticism that we can make the significant progress that is clearly needed. So there's a real imperative on us to work together to ensure that the integrity of the professions in England and Wales is put beyond doubt. Today, I hope, will mark an important step in that direction. And on that note, I wish you all a very successful and enjoyable set of discussions and day. And to get us started, we're now going to hear some clips from members of the public and practising lawyers, voices that sometimes we too seldom hear.